anyone, anywhere. Unmatched is a fast-paced game of tactical combat between unlikely opponents. Pick your favorite hero, choose a map, and use your hero's unique deck and abilities to win the day.
Hello, and welcome to Turn 1 with Guise of the Beholder. Today, we're going to teach you everything you need to know for the first turn of Unmatched. To begin, you'll need to select your character and the map you'll be playing on. Some maps are designed for 2-player combat, while others are designed for up to 4-player battle royale. Place the map down on the table so all players can reach it and read it. Important note, Unmatched comes with 2 sides, one side being a colorblind friendly mode.
After selecting your combat arena, you'll need to select your character. For today, we are using Little Red Riding Hood versus Beowulf. When selecting your character, it's a good idea to take a look at the hero card, as it will give you a full rundown on that hero and their sidekicks. On the top of the hero card is the name of the hero. Beneath that is if they are melee or ranged. To the right of that is their health. Below that in the big box is the hero's unique ability. On the right hand side, it tells you the movement spaces that they can move. Beneath that is the sidekick's name, whether they are melee or ranged, and the starting health. Please note that if their health is not listed here, it is 1.
Once you select your hero, the youngest player will place their hero in the space labeled 1, and then the other player will place in the space labeled 2. In multiplayer free-for-all games, hero placement will be done from the youngest to oldest, with the youngest placing in space 1, the next youngest in space 2, and so on until all heroes are placed. For team play, you will alternate between Team A and Team B placing heroes, again with the youngest placing first.
For placing sidekicks, it's important to discuss spaces and zones. Your gladiatorial arena is made up of circular spaces. These spaces are what fighters move between, and each space can only contain one fighter at a time. When 2 spaces are connected by a line, they are considered adjacent. This becomes important when determining attack targets for melee heroes and for certain card effects. The spaces on the battlefield are divided into zones, which are indicated by the different colors. Each space that shares a color is part of the same zone. Side note, the reason I prefer the colorblind side of the board is because it's significantly easier to differentiate between the zones. So now that we know about spaces and zones, when placing your sidekick or kicks, you can place them in any space that is within the same zone.
With heroes and sidekicks placed, grab your health tile for your hero and sidekicks if they have them, and set them to the correct value. That value can be found on the hero card we talked about earlier. If a sidekick doesn't have a dial, that means they only have 1 health. Once dials have been set, you will need to get your deck of cards, shuffle, and draw 5 cards. This will be your opening hand.
This is an excellent chance to explain the anatomy and layout of the cards you just drew. Now if you look closely, you can see in the top left there are symbols in different colors and numbers. The colors are yellow for scheme, red for attack, blue for defense, and purple for versatile, attack or defense. They are also distinguished by different symbols. Underneath that symbol is a number known as the attack and defense value. We'll explain this more when we discuss the attack action. Along the left side of the card is a name. This name is the hero or sidekick that can use the card. For example, this one is Little Red, this one is Huntsman, and this one could be used by either or. On the bottom half of a card is a black box. This box has the name of the card, the effect of the card, and an additional number in this circle. This number is the boost value, which we'll explain more during the maneuver action. One last additional note on the information on the card, in the bottom right hand corner is the deck that this card appears in, and the number of copies in that deck.
Okay, so everything is all set up, and it's now your first turn. What do? Well, I'll tell you what to do. What to really do.
So tell me what to do, what to really do.
You want to take 2 actions, and you can pick from maneuver, scheme, or attack. You may pick the same action twice, and they can be picked in any order. When you take the maneuver action, it's separated in 2 steps. Step 1, you must draw a card. Important to note that your hand limit is 7 cards. If you end your turn but have more than 7 cards, you must discard until you have only 7. Also, if there's ever a time you go to draw a card and there are no cards in your deck, you suffer 2 damage.
Step 2. After drawing your card, you may move any fighter you control up to your movement value, which is found on your hero card. You may decide to not move at all, you may choose to move only your sidekick or hero, or you may move both. Now, important movement rules. Once you select a fighter to move, you must finish movement with that fighter before moving the next. No split movement. Also, you cannot move your fighter through the space of an enemy fighter unless otherwise noted. You can, however, move through friendly fighter spaces. If there is ever a time when you can move an enemy fighter, you must follow the same rules. Now the last thing about movement you can do is boost your movement. You remember when we were discussing the anatomy of the card and we talked about that boost value? Well, this is where it comes into play. That boost value actually increases your movement by that amount. In order to boost, you announce that you are using a card to boost, and then that card increases your movement by the amount on the card. After that, the card you used is placed into the discard pile. This means for the cost of a card, you can close the gap between melee heroes and those pesky ranged characters that think they're better than you because they can shoot a bow or do magic. Or if you're a ranged character, you can keep your distance so you can snipe those brutish meatheads before they get to ask you a question.
When you take the scheme action, you choose a scheme card, indicated by this sweet yellow lightning bolt icon, from your hand and you play it on the table face up. When playing a scheme card, you must declare which fighter is using the scheme card, but for the most part, the cards will indicate which fighter can use the card. After you resolve the effect of the card, place it into the discard pile.
Finally, the last action you can take is the attack action, which is divided into 3 steps. Step 1. Declare your target. Any fighter, melee or ranged, can attack an enemy in an adjacent space, regardless of what zone they are in. Melee fighters can only attack in this fashion. However, ranged attackers may target any enemy in a matching zone. Step 2. As the attacker, you must choose either a red attack card or a purple versatile card and play it face down in front of you. Then the defender may or may not choose a blue defense card or a purple versatile card and place it face down in front of them. Important note, for both attackers and defenders, please use cards that are assigned for that hero. Don't use sidekick cards for your main hero and vice versa. Once both players have chosen their cards, reveal them at the same time. So to summarize, as both the attacker and defender, you must decide, is it worth it? You gotta work it. You gotta put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it. That way, your opponent can read the card.
Remember, the attack and defense value for cards are found on the top left corner of the card. Subtract the defense value from the attack value. Any remaining amount is damage that is dealt to the defending hero or sidekick. When dealt damage, you will adjust the health dial of the defending hero by the corresponding amount. After the results of the combat have been determined, resolve any effects that occur after combat. Then, place all cards played into the discard pile.
When one of your fighters is reduced to 0 health for any reason, they are defeated and have been slain. If your hero's sidekick is defeated, immediately remove that sidekick token from the battlefield. If your hero is defeated, you immediately lose the game. In a team setting, both heroes of the team must be slain to claim the game.
That's it. That's everything you need to know for turn 1 of Unmatched. Good luck and have fun.